Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. I'm pretty sure that's a book, but that has been the common rhetoric for the longest time. Basically, what it means in a nutshell. I actually haven't read the book, I just thought of the title, but basically, what it means is like the not love language, but the way men and women love each other is basically complete opposite to each other. And this is why the genders always seem to be fighting about what they want, right? And then we're gonna dive really deep into it in this video. Basically, what is the man's version of love and what is the woman's version of love? How you can apply this to your life, how you can change your success with dating with it. Once you understand the principles of it, it's a deep topic, man. And then this video could be valuable for men and women alike, so you can understand the other gender just a little bit better. Don't forget, if you like this content, scroll down, hit that subscribe button. Let's grow the channel together, where I impart my wisdom upon thee, both genders alike, so that we can get together and have babies together, okay? So, how do men love and how do women love? Okay, long story short, to cut to the chase, men love based on equity, time, and like ethics and morals. Like what I mean is a man will love a woman based upon how much time he's spent with her and how much he has invested in her. And it's almost like a time cost analysis or a loss aversion type of thing, right? Women do not have that. That's key. So, like, why are the majority of divorces initiated by women? Because the man is never going to initiate that shit. The man's got 20 years invested into this human. He's not going to throw that away. A woman has no such reservation. She will throw it all away for the reason why she loves. Women love based on how they feel in the moment at all times. That's critical to understand as a man. At all times, it is your responsibility to make her love you when she is in your presence. Let me tell you a story about that. So my girl, I was hanging out with her last weekend, and she was kind of coming down with a cold kind of thing, and she was feeling really down about some stuff that was happening at her work, right? Now, I knew she was feeling down. This is kind of how you have to apply what I'm teaching you here, right? I knew she was feeling down, and I knew she wasn't in the best mood or whatever, right? So what I ended up doing was just like, you listen to their nonsense that you don't care about for a while. That's part of the game, right? And then once she's actually vented her frustrations about her job or about Sally or how her friend talked shit, women need to vent to somebody. That's like step number one, okay, of making them feel good. And then once she was actually done venting, then I made the conscious decision. I thought about this. I made the conscious decision to bring up funny topics, like or I brought up a goat dancing on my Instagram, like the dumbest shit. I tickled her feet and we wrestled. And basically, what you're trying to do to make a woman love you is to like play with her, as if you guys are like children and you're just goofing off. And then the premise there is, this is how kind of it works in a nutshell. Woman has stress of life. Let's say she has a job, she has bills to pay, whatever. Now you don't do that if they have like a family member passing. You like use context here, right? But they feel bad about a certain thing, or even if they're just like numb to a certain thing, usually just like day-to-day life is pretty boring for most chicks. That's why they say you can do anything to a woman except bore her, okay? So most chicks are just bored, like in general. Then when they come and they hang out with you, the feeling that they get in that moment is, he listened to me, he saw me, he's seen me intently. Like, you actually do have to listen. You can't just not give a shit. You have to, that's a whole skill in and of itself, man. Like, looking a woman in her eyes and pretending to give a shit about her problems that mean nothing. For me, that's the toughest thing about this. I know I have to do it, and yet my God, dude, it's like, woman, we gotta upgrade your problems here. Like, Jesus Christ. But anyway, that's what I struggle with, right? But you gotta do it, whatever. You don't do it for like 8 hours. You do it for like 30 minutes or whatever. She feels, the goal here is you're trying to make her feel a certain way when she's around you. That's the end goal of this. So then she gets to vent her frustrations out to somebody who she thinks cares about her problems. You might care, you might not care, but doesn't matter. She believes you care, right? And then you play with her after. And then she starts giggling and she starts forgetting about the problems of her life. She starts forgetting about her having to go back to work on Monday. That's why a lot of these women are kind of turning around now. They're like, I don't want to go to work, man. I don't know why feminism signed us up for this shit. Like, I want to just stay home. What they're saying there, the underlying message there is they want to feel good all the time. They just want to feel good. Their version of good is different. That's like, you got to be careful with that, because a toxic woman's version of good is like controlling men, debasing them, hitting them, or getting into fights with them. Like, some chicks really like the emotional roller coaster. And they'll play games with you, they'll ghost you, they'll do all this crazy shit because that makes them feel good. A woman will give a man attention with no intention of sleeping with him because it makes her feel good. Why do women post thirst traps on Instagram and all this crazy shit? For the sole purpose of feeling good. That's it. There's your bombshell in a nutshell. So anyway, if you want to make a woman love you long term, in perpetuity, forever, this is kind of where I screwed up in my marriage too. This is where most guys screw up. I didn't learn this lesson until afterwards, right? But basically, if you have problems or you have issues, you gotta write that shit down somewhere, put it in a closet, deal with it on your own later. You have to listen to her issues and her problems, and then you have to make the conscious decision to play with her, in whatever her version of that is, and you have to make her feel good. Then what happens is she actually falls in love with you because she attributes you as an escape from all the bad things. It's almost like hypergamy if you think about it, like protection. It's like, that's why the fun guys always do the best with women. Not necessarily the richest guys, not necessarily the most jacked guys, the guys with the best game, whatever. It's the fun guys. You want to be the fun guy. The fun guy, she knows, it's kind of a frame battle if you want to think about it. She knows if she gives up her frame to the fun guy, she will get to go on an experience with him, and he will take her on an adventure. And this sounds like mythical shit, but this is literally how they think, dude. You gotta take her on an adventure so she can just escape her reality for a minute. This is also why drug dealers, pimps, club promoters, anyone that has access to drugs like cocaine, ecstasy, like heroin, like this crazy shit, weed, even marijuana. Guys that have access to these drugs, why do they always have like 10 women around them? Because the guy isn't necessarily fun, but he has access to the fun. The fun being the drugs. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, it's the same principle, right? The woman is having a hard day at work or she's stressed out. She hangs out with man. Man gives her cocaine or ecstasy. She feels good. Therefore, that man is her love in that moment because he has access to the drugs. Hopefully I'm painting this picture for you. How women fall in love with men. You know what I'm saying? You have to have access to something to make her feel like she can just get away from it, right? So it's so key. Now, how this wraps up with the conflict of interest between both genders, right? So let's say this is the hard part, right? So let's say a man has been married to his girl. Let's just say even 5 years. Let's say something small, right? Or let me tell you my experience. This is what happened to me, right? So my ex wanted me to start a YouTube channel. She wanted to buy a bigger house. She didn't want to work. She wanted to have a family and all that shit, which is it's all good stuff, right? So then I went from being the fun guy to the guy that works 16 hours a day. I stopped having fun. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I became goal-oriented at all costs. And then her brain stopped attributing me as the fun guy, and now I was the source of her reality. Like, the reality was I had to work 16 hours a day, and you gotta do the dishes. That's the reality. Now, from my perspective, or from the man's perspective, the guy has to work 16 hours a day. He's invested in this girl for 5 or 10 years. He's doing it for her. That's the crazy thing. Men do all this shit, like honor, ethics. I will never cheat on my girl. I will never. Funny enough, why does the guy that cheats all the time get the most women? Because he is her source of fun. Like, remember how I was saying some toxic girls like the roller coaster? Well, if a guy keeps cheating on her, she's getting the roller coaster. So like, him cheating on her gives her brain something fun to think about that isn't life. Basically, you want to know the cheat code? It's your responsibility as a man to make your woman forget about reality at all times, dude. This never goes away. 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years. Dude, I was hanging out with a 21-year-old girl a couple of weeks ago, and they are much easier to have fun with because they almost remind you how to play because they're so playful themselves. Like the reality of the world hasn't hit them yet. Do you know what I'm saying? So they play with you much easier, and then they make you feel like, oh, this is what it's like to play and like have fun again. And then you actually do play with them, and then that builds that's why older men always build attraction with younger women, because she reminds him how to play, and then he plays. And then they play together. And then now, on top of that, he has a shit ton of money to do a lot of fun stuff to play. So like, now he can take that younger girl and escape her from her shit reality, which she doesn't really have one yet, but she's getting there, right? And then they just play together and they have fun. So like, why do you always see all these older men like Tobey Maguire, like Spider-Man and all this shit, dating 20-year-olds, man? And they always look they look like they're laughing their asses off all the time because they're playing. So as a woman gets older, she also loses her capacity to play. And she becomes more dependent on the man to do it for her, to get her in it. By the way, that also includes long-term sexual desire in a marriage as well. So if this is kind of a derail for a second, but if you're in a long-term relationship, 5 years, 10 years, or whatever, everyone always says that the sex slowly goes away or you lose attraction, which is true to a certain extent. But what it mostly is both partners forget how to play and have fun, and then it's like what the guy does is like, hey, he looks at his watch, he's like, hey, can we have sex now? And the woman's like, I'm not into this shit, I don't want to do this, right? What do they, what's that old saying? Change her mood, not her mind. I forgot about that saying, but that was like one of the biggest golden nuggets from back in the day, right? Change her mood, not her mind. So it's like, if you know that you want to have sex with a girl, and it's like, you have this compulsion to be like, hey, do you want to go upstairs and just do it now? You can't do that. You gotta like poke her, you gotta make her giggle, or you gotta like, you just gotta play with her somehow, man. However she likes to be played with. You have to tickle her feet. Like whatever, just start wrestling with her. Start like you gotta slowly build up the momentum of you guys are just playing together, which then leads to sex. Because even the act of sex itself should be very playful. Like you guys, like guys take sex way too seriously, man. Like when you get undressed with a chick, that shit's fucking hilarious. Like you should like if she's ticklish, you shouldn't like avoid her ticklish spots. You should like prod them on purpose to make her laugh in the middle of sex. And then what that does, this is a total derail, but what that does is it makes her understand that you don't take sex that seriously, which then makes her have the ability to orgasm easier, which then makes her fall in love with you more because you were the guy that let her orgasm around you and you were the fun guy and you weren't that serious. Dude, from top to bottom, it's your job to make her feel good in that moment and she will love you forever, dude. Now, from the man's perspective, ladies, let me tell you, everything a man does, he is doing for you. And you might not think so, but he's trying his best, okay? Now, the biggest problem here, you can fast forward 10 years. They're a married couple, they've been together for 10 years. And he's doing his out. You both forgot how to have fun, to be fair. And but from his perspective, he goes to his job. He takes out the trash. He's grinding for you. He's grinding for his family. Women will never understand the burden that is on a man's shoulders, but he's trying his best, okay? And God forbid that this poor guy kind of forgets how to have fun for a year or two because he's just so stressed out about like the recession and AI and robots are coming and layoffs are at his job and he's trying to think about how to like protect his family from nuclear war. Like this guy's got bigger problems here. He's got way bigger problems than making you feel good because that's what you need. Like he's got like fucking like bro, like woman, he's got way bigger problems, okay? And yet, now there is a little bit of time equity. If you've been together for 10 years and you made her and you played with her for the first 8 and you suck at the last 2, it's a what does Rich Cooper say? It's a ticking time bomb to the end of the relationship. So she's giving you a little bit of leeway for you to remember how to have fun with her and for you to remember how to play with her. That has a finite time, right? Now, that's why men will always say, after they get dumped or broken up with, they will always say, it came out of nowhere, or I got blindsided. It's like, no, so from her perspective, that's why women always cheat too. From her perspective, this is the sentence you want to listen for is, I feel alone. Or, like, we don't go out anymore. I feel alone in this relationship is a big one, because basically what she's saying there, they don't know how to articulate what they're feeling. But basically what they're saying is, you are, the man, it's the man's responsibility to give fun to the woman. You are her escape from life. You are her fun. You're her fun battery. You're her play battery. And if your play battery is zero because you're so stressed out, she has to find her own play battery and her own fun. And women trying to find their own fun is insanely exhausting to them. Which I don't know why, but it is. Like, so, you know how girls are always like, I hate when a man says, what do you want to go, what restaurant do you want to go to? What event do you want to go to? What do you want to do this weekend? What do women want? What do you think about it? Women want, it's like, I want to go on this date and I just want to turn my brain off. I want you to plan everything. I want you to do all the bookings. I want you to just take my frame and just run with it. That's what they want. They're literally saying this shit right on social media, bro. They're like, I hate, because the guy thinks he's being courteous. The guy's like, well, I don't really care about what we eat. What do you want to eat? Like, it makes logical sense because we really just don't give a shit what we eat. But to the woman, it's not about the food. It's about the responsibility of making a decision. That's not fun. That's the key. The making the decision part is not the fun that they want. So anyway, 10 years down the line, just keep that in mind. You making decisions is fun for her. You're trying to create fun for her and escape for her. You're not trying to be equal partners in decision making, okay? Now, you've been married for 10 years, 20 years. The guy is trying his best. God forbid he forgets how to have fun for a couple of years. She's gone. She's gone. They don't understand, and here's the thing. You can't even hate them for it, because they don't know why they're like that. They truly don't. They actually, like, when you talk to a girl that's kind of like, you talk to any girl, man. They're like, I don't know why I feel so broken like this all the time. Like, I need to have fun all the time. And it's something to do with their evolution, something to do with how they evolved this way. I don't know the science behind it. They themselves don't know the science behind it, man. And they never grow out of this. They don't, man. If anything, the older they get, the more jaded they get, because the older they get, the less men know how to have fun too. So you see a lot of these cougars and these spinsters dating really young guys, because the young guys are like, they know how to have fun. And then what they'll say is like, well, the younger generation isn't as jaded yet. They haven't been through as many breakups. Again, read between the lines. If a guy has been broken up with 4, 5, 6, 7 times, he's been dumped over and over and over and over, his capacity to play and have fun is probably very diminished. And he's in full logical mode. Well, yeah, no woman wants to touch that shit. Right? So then men, they get so resentful because they're like, I poured my heart and soul out to this girl in this long-term marriage. I did everything for her. You didn't play with her. So then she really does feel alone. She's like, I don't know. And that's why if you're like the guy on the other end, she goes out to, she feels alone, or she hasn't had fun in like 2 years, a year or two, and she goes to the bar once, drinks a couple of drinks, and she meets a fun guy. Doesn't have to be drugs or anything, she just meets a fun guy. And he reminds her what it's like to have a man that can take her frame and take her on an adventure and have fun with her. He reminds her how to play. And one thing, guys that are really good at this shit, like real game, like pickup artists, they will play with her. Usually starts with like witty banter. They will play with her, compliance ladder that shit all the way back to the house, man. And then all of a sudden she's like, I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I cheated. I don't know how I even got to his house. Because in what happens there? And they truly don't. That's the key here. Now, you can resent their evolution, but why does pickup artistry work in the first place? Why is that content all like blacklisted and banned now? Because it works. The premise of it is the girl, when she meets a fun man or a fun guy, she almost loses her ability to think logically because she's having so much fun in that moment. Do you know what I'm saying? She almost gives her entire soul and personality, and she gives her whole body to the man that can make her feel the most fun. That's hypergamy, by the way. And then the guy, the guy at the bar, he makes her feel like she used to feel when she was 20, 19, playing, giggling, having fun. It's over. And they will throw away 20, 30, 40 years. They'll throw it all away. Because in their mind, they don't know that they're throwing it away. Because their love isn't based on equity. Their love is not based on length of time. Now, if you are the fun guy forever, here's the counterpoint to that. If you're married for 20 years and you come home from work, or she comes home from work or whatever, and basically you want to make your woman excited to see you all the time. When she's excited to see you, you have her hooked forever because you are a solid rock of a play battery. So like she comes and sees you, and that's how you beat all other men in the dating market too, right? Let's say a girl goes out on like 5 or 6 dates and you were the funnest one. She's gonna wanna hang out with you again. And then when she sees you, she knows she's gonna have fun. And then it's your job as a man to keep that going forever. Forever. You have to make her have fun. And then she's not gonna risk her break, even if there is a fun guy at the bar, she's not gonna risk her play battery for an unknown play battery. Does that make sense? She's like, I got a really good play battery at home, I'm good, right? But if your battery is drained, there is a chink in the armor, there is an opening for another guy to take that shit. If he's just more fun. If he can demonstrate that he is a better play battery. Do you know what I'm saying? It's almost like the Matrix type shit. But that's kind of how it works in a nutshell. Here's the thing. Here's what I will finish up with and close off with. I don't think this is a bad thing. Now, a lot of guys will watch this video and they'll get resentful at female genetics or whatever. I think they're teaching us men a lesson. I think, if you want to get like spiritual about it, I think the female gender evolved that way. For some reason, they did. It doesn't actually make evolutionary sense why they evolved that way, but they did. And I think they did that to teach men, to punish men over and over and over and over and over and over, to never stop having fun. It's like, if this man stops having fun, I will burn him to the ground for it. I will take half his shit. I will call him the worst man ever. I will take his kids from him. Why? Because he forgot how to have fun. That's the craziest bombshell ever, right there. Right there. I will repeatedly punish men that don't know how to have fun. I don't care if you stop having fun 30 years from now, I will burn you for it. And it's almost like, you're like, holy shit, like what the, like, you're like, god damn. I was like, it's not that serious. Why do we gotta have fun all the time? It's like, no. You need to have, it's almost like they were put on earth to tell us that we need to have childlike fun. And if we don't, we're done. Our gene pool is over. So I don't actually think that's a bad thing, if you think about it. I'm like, okay, so when you understand this, you're like, all a woman wants is to just me have fun with her. I think that's pretty, and she will punish you if you forget how to have fun. So just go have some fun. Go have some fun, man. Go be a kid again when you didn't have the responsibilities of the weight of the world on you. And I think the reason why this is so important is because a man who is stressed out, I think it triggers their hypergamous brain that he doesn't have his shit together. Do you know what I'm saying? If you think about, like, really deep, if you think about this, a man who's like 40 years old, who can still play like a kid, he probably got gifted genetics, or he got gifted money, or he won the lottery, or there's something. Why can that 40-year-old man have fun like a kid when no other man can? Think about that shit. It's almost like a hypergamy thing. It's like he must have something. There's got to be a reason why he can have fun and nobody else can. Think about that shit. Anyway, guys, if you like this content, please scroll down, hit the subscribe button, share this video with a friend if they need to hear the message. This one is key, critically important to long-term relationships, or if you just want to take a married girl for yourself and you see a chink in the armor of her husband, his play battery is drained, man. Hit the subscribe button. See you guys in the next one.